down, baby.
Yeah.
It's game 3. If Nongshim win this, they're tied. If KT win, they take an extra step ahead of putting them 2 series wins ahead. With how this group is looking, that might be the moment where we just lock up 4th place. Basically, not literally, but I think in our minds, and in even Nongshim's mind, you're like, I don't know if we'll ever catch up. We'll have to beat one of the big 3 in order to do so. No Yunara in this series. Nocturne banned away from Gideon here on blue side by KT. The Gwen that hasn't really been looked at too much in these drafts is also going to be banned here in the first phase, unusually.
Yeah, I think this might be the game where we see Aurora come out just in general, just for power level. You know, as we get to game 3 of a Fearless draft, you begin to see some of the stuff that was just on the fringe slowly begin to come in, like maybe Jarvan gets picked up, maybe, you know, the Nico finally slips through, unless they're going to ban it here in the first phase.
I think as
bans.
KT, you should be happy to trade Taliyah for Azir, in my opinion, and they feel the same way. They're like, yeah, you wanna ban one of those picks, we get the other one, and I'm B2D. You can bet that if you're gonna trade, I pick up the Taliyah, and I'm gonna crush you. You have to have that confidence as KT, and I think they absolutely do. Ban it on the Yone solidifies that, as Nongshim trying to think about what they want to ban here instead. Could ban Vi. I think that's a relatively safe one in this scenario. Ban Yorick again. Okay. I think you snap lock Taliyah here, and you're thinking about what you do after you see their Azir lock in with the jungler. I think that's what you're thinking about as KT. Instead,
whoa,
BDD will take his iconic Azir in away, and both of these picks are very well known for BDD, but I would say for Calyx, he's way better at Azir than he is at Taliyah, so maybe that's the rationale.
Yeah.
Is just say, like, look, Taliyah is stronger. I'm better at Taliyah right now. It's stronger in this meta for BDD. I think it's his most played champion, but I'd rather not face Calyx's Azir, so I'll take it that way instead.
Now, does he go for the Taliyah? Looks like absolutely he will. Makes a lot of sense. And what are we going to get alongside of this?
Blind Trundle.
Blind Trundle has been banned twice against KT by Nongshim from blue side, so they say this is a really strong pick just for tier list.
It does prevent Perfect from playing Sion here, which I think is something he was considering doing, for sure. As we're just going to respond with a Jarvan without knowing what the AD carry is. Sivir's gone. Just going tier list, Valdez.
Yeah, I think that's okay, especially because it's Cuz.
Yeah.
You know, not a lot of junglers are left up at this point in time. And a lot's still banned. Like, Vi would have been the only other one, but, you know, do you really want to do that in this draft? Probably not.
Maybe an 80 carry pick here for Duckdom. The Nico instead. So much engage in this draft here for KT already. All 3 champions can be teamfight warpers.
This is Peter's Nico Wolf.
It's Peter's Nico, and it's the strongest support in the game right now. And this is not really the answer. This has kind of been okay as an answer. I'd rather see something like a Karma. Blitzcrank is okay.
Oh.
Bard.
So we are going to get the Bard. Maybe getting a little bit inspired by Keria is Lehens.
The difficulty of this comp is going up for Nongshim RedForce. Getting harder with every pick.
Yeah.
Whereas KT's comp, pretty self-explanatory, pretty simple, and comfort for 3 players.
Yeah. The Bard in theory is very good into what you're looking at, but as you mentioned, I'm not sure if they can actually execute it as a 5-man unit and as Lehens at this point in time.
It's just like, it feels like KT are floating over the ground. Like they're both on treadmills. KT are floating and Nongshim RedForce is still running, and they keep turning up the speed. And it's like, you gotta run faster and faster and faster right now with how, like, Nongshim can win the race, so to speak, but it is going to be challenging. Let's see what the bans are going to be here. 80 carry being one of those looks. Obviously, Nongshim have counterpick for top. So Aatrox is going to be taken away here. I mean, we could still see Perfect play Sion in this draft, but I really would not advise it.
Yeah, I don't really want to see that. Not into the Trundle.
Yeah, it's really hard to make it work, especially when they have Taliyah and Bard as well. The Aatrox ban is normally for a pick like that, so Caitlyn's taken away. Looks like Gio wants to play something that scales really well and is going to struggle a little bit in lane. Kai'Sa obviously very good with Nico Jarvan. Very easy to follow up. That one makes sense. So this final ban is here. It's going to be towards Kingen once again. Like, there's no Gwen, no Aatrox, which Kingen obviously has been a master of, and a World's MVP while playing.
Could ban Ezreal, but Ezreal isn't really a pick nowadays that we see too often.
What is Perfect cooking here with these bans in the top lane? Really curious about it. Corki is going to be the pick here for Ju. Caitlyn ban makes a little bit more sense now with that in mind, and they'll save that counter pick for Kingen. It just feels like he's looking to play a tank here. Slower melee that would be punished by an Aatrox or a Jace.
Yeah. Still, Duckdom's got to make a choice as well.
Ezreal.
Will be the Ezreal, so goes to them.
Very safe, and he is just going to lock that sign. Like, it seems so obvious. This is a champion pool issue, Valdez, and a player confidence issue, I think, for Perfect here, but it's still an incredible draft, and it has so much engage that the Trundle pick doesn't just auto-win. Oh. And the Camille was another option that Kingen could play that's in the same vein as the Jace and the Aatrox, and it works incredibly well with Trundle. There's synergy with the Pillar for the Camille, as well as just, it's really easy to Hextech, ultimatum somebody, and then as they finally get out, like, maybe I get away here, then they get pillared, and there's no mobility. There's a lot of burst damage here to follow up on the Camille engage. I like both drafts a lot, and I do think that people really do overdo the, if there's a Trundle, Scion is not allowed, because yes, you can just subjugate and take a ton of resistances away. Your Trundle becomes incredibly tanky, and then the Scion is not as tanky as it otherwise would be. But Scion still has a role to play, and if your subjugate is on cooldown for any reason, or if your Trundle is just shoved away by an Azir ult, for example, maybe the Scion gets enough value, maybe his flank is going to be successful. And also, if you're Perfect, you kind of, unfortunately, you kind of got to play a pick like Scion, or you're just going to get bopped by Kingen probably. And I think that's the rationale that KT has here, where they're like, let's protect it a little bit, let's take the Jace out, let's take the Aatrox out. Perfect, please just hold on, and maybe we can win this game. Like KT, self-aware, and I like it. I do like it. It's still Scion into Trundle, but self-aware KT, you like to see it.
Yeah, his BDD's is here. That's really all I have to say about that. We'll see if he can work it out against Calix's Taliyah here as we hop into the Rift for game number 3.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
All right, here we go, level 1. In the bottom lane, both sides going to see the ward. And nothing much should amount from this.
Nothing much should amount from this, Looks like Duckdom queued Lehens. Just see Lehens missing some health, so I think they saw Lehens at least on the approach there. And that's that. Nice little attempt from Nongshim, not quite the banger level 1 where they got 2 flashes with the Elise we saw in game 2. Gideon will get a ward down here with some of his buddies.
Some of his buddies?
Yeah, Calix and Lehens specifically. They've been known to be a little buddy-buddy with him.
Just a couple of buds.
They've been known to be quite friendly with each other.
A couple of pals.
They feel like they're kind of on a team at times. Duckdom and Peter are very aware that level 1 is theirs for the taking unless some shenanigan reoccurs. So a little bit safe on the approach there. Nico basically turns any lane into a winning lane. It's crazy. She is so strong right now. Like, okay, Varus is really good at winning lanes. Nico, maybe even stronger at that. And with Ezreal being able to just weave skill shots in, it's a little tough. Nice try, Ju. I don't know, man. Yeah. You don't win this one, my friend.
This is not happening.
Like,
it's not working.
He's like, maybe I can barrier to it. No, you can't. It's 2025. We're halfway through the round. That's Nico, dude. Oh, God, Valdez.
Also helps that Duckdom didn't miss a single thing. And that Lehens, he's not really able to do anything to help him out if Ju's just going to tank all that damage, Level 1 Bard who's got a binding, and that's the end of his kit.
Yeah, that's... if he had level 2, there's there's some playmaking there. Win streak for Bard, by the way, which we did not see played by Peter in the last game, which rose our ire. I talked to Pony about it in the break as well. He was not too happy about it not being picked as perfect. Is in danger.
All right, yeah, he's in a lot of trouble. The Trundle getting to work early as, oh no, what's going on here, Kingen? He's going to be forced to flash out. It's still a kill, but it has to go over to Gideon, and now Kingen's down his flash, so potentially they can punish him here in a little bit. Yeah,
double flash. Gideon losing his as well. Obviously, the Camille being more important, as you say, is Gio going to get rooted and W'd. He's already at 60% of his health and is going to really not have a good time. I don't know what else to tell you guys. It's not looking good.
Yeah, Cuz here too with double buff, just saying hello. Looks like they do want to go for the dive.
Lehens is very low on mana. This is going to be a very difficult dive to pull off, but they have all 3 flashes. They can juggle that aggro. They certainly could get a successful kill here. All about that Valkyrie timing.
Yep, they want to look for 2 as he's going to flash over 1. Is able to get away from the second, and now Cuz is taking the damage from the turret. Gives the free kill and double buff over to Gio, and the dive is a disaster.
Yeah, it almost makes you wonder, did they think he had Gatling gun locked in? Like, I mean, maybe they're like, oh, he just hasn't shown it yet, but he has Valkyrie, so he just W's away, has flash. I mean, it's really well played by Gio, but I just didn't really feel very confident about that dive working against a Corki, and it didn't.
All right, they're trying to delay the back here as Lehen's trying to get in there. Gideon now on the bottom side. Gio is going to tank this one up, actually. There's a little bit of a failure in terms of tanking the turret, but still Nongshim able to get the 1 kill, deny some of the CS away from Duckdom on top of it all.
Cuz is not in a position to cross map here, so this ends up being pretty good for Nongshim. Pretty unfortunate that Duckdom gets a kill back, but at the end of the day, that was a really nice turnaround there after a pretty good defense of the dive. Yeah, he just has Valkyrie locked already. Not sure.
Oh, the Bard stun.
Bard stun is good, but like, it wasn't even close, by the way.
Yeah.
Here, this gets a little bit awkward. Good pillar from Gideon. And, the Bard gets away. Gio, unfortunately, takes that extra turret shot. This was a nice follow-up dive with the later rotation over of Gideon. And, well, relatively even game state here. Nongshim with a slight lead. I'm most concerned about the fact that this Camille that got an assist is like down on farm and losing the lane. Like,
yeah, Sion can be very annoying.
Yeah, it's quite. This is like one of those ones where I'm like, yeah, the Sion pick I guess just is kind of safe against almost anything.
Yeah, took away a couple of the more annoying choices. Camille eventually is obviously going to have a fun time. No flash here on Perfect, and now the Hextech Ultimatum comes in. Just need to hit the knockback. It's not going to happen, and they don't quite have the damage. Calyx not able to execute. Here's Gideon, level 4. He can stop the back.
Yeah, I mean, they may lose a plate to BDD here. We'll pick up this cannon. Looks like he's considering it. I think he should be able to get this. With the prio they have bottom side. I mean, they're even taking the dragon right now. Okay, it's a full health plate, so we'll get some of it. And, that's the end of that. Dragon goes over to KT. And, yeah, Sion, man, pretty good. Pretty tanky. Good movement from Perfect. Doesn't have flash, doesn't have ult. Gets out, absorbs the pressure. They went on the other side of the map. And until Subjugate is a skilled ability, Trundle doesn't really counter Sion just yet, Valdez.
Yeah. And the kills being on Trundle, we've seen, I forget who it was, somebody had 5 kills on Trundle, and they lost. I think it was Sponge for DRX.
It was a Rise Group team for sure.
It was Rise Group, and so, Trundle not the guy who uses gold the best out of all the champions in the game, that's for sure. Maybe just a little mini dash there. Not sure about that one. Meanwhile, we have the barrier once again. Juice still going to lose the trade.
Not sure what that XP chart was supposed to show. I think it's that Peter's really far behind in levels. Oh!
Outplayed. Duck Dom says, take a seat.
That's so rare nowadays.
Yeah.
Like, that almost never happens. That's 2 kills on an Ezreal. And all the lead that Gio was hoping to generate on that follow-up dive after surviving kind of washed away now. 500 gold behind. Didn't have flash, but guess was maybe with his tab screen open or had a shop open. Just didn't know that the True Shot Barrage was coming his way.
Gideon's here again, but he's on vision. There's a lot of wards up there, actually. Cuz just going to start this one up. In the face of Gideon, doesn't seem to care. Actually, level 6 ahead of Gideon's level 5, even though Gideon did get 2 kills. Cuz has been farming better.
Does have his ult here. There's a lot of good targets.
Cuz is going to smite that one down. And now all of a sudden, Gideon's in a lot of trouble. He's alone. He's dead. He flashes and dies anyway to the auto of Duck Dom. And now it's a disaster to the side of Nongshim.
Yeah, it's 3 grubs here. And, I mean, there was some extra farming for Gio in the bottom lane he's going to be happy about. Looks like he's not quite going to pick up that plate. I'm not 100% sure about that. Hopefully for his sake he does. The mid lane, some extra push here for Calix, but that's only half a plate that's picked up. The TP was available for Sion. Duck Dom predicting. Yep, got him. Over here, you know, Cuz is like, we win this fight, so I'm actually happy to commit in, smiting first, and then decides, okay, well, look at the right side. Peter's zoned them away. I just go for the play with my Cataclysm, and unfortunately the flash, like you said, is not going to get you out of that auto from Duck Dom. So Duck Dom gets an additional kill. 3 kills on this Ezreal early. And it's starting to feel like it's about to be a Duck Dom show.
Yeah, it's getting off the rails already. And it's a very fun roller coaster, apparently, if it's going off the rails. Gio, rooted, get a big blast to the face. He is going to have to flash away. Meanwhile, we saw, actually, Jonah Strong was trying to highlight Calix losing his flash in mid. Yeah. And it looks like BDD maybe was able to pressure him out. Not sure what happened there. As BDD still has his ult, and now Gideon, no flash for him. He's dead, as Perfect is also looking to get into the party.
Like, look at the bottom lane. Kane is getting pushed in again. So much so that Perfect can ult into a mid-skirmish. Gideon just gets shoved out, gets killed there. BDD doesn't even need to use his ultimate. Well, they're also winning topside because they got that play on the Gio. They're winning in all 3 lanes right now, Valdez. And this game starts to feel really cooked here for Nongshim. It's only a 1,500 gold lead, but, I mean, this gets worse and worse before it gets better. And this, you know, Camille is not, like, irrelevant and still can lock down Ezreal later on, but with how fed this Ezreal is, might not matter. Has a cull in his inventory. This is just Gideon trying to get Scuttle. BDD has mid-control. Like, the Talia is not here, Gideon.
Yeah.
Their bottom lane, there's no control. Your Camille is under turret.
Also, unfortunately, like, there is a way, I believe, to stop the flag and drag as Trundle if you time it correctly, but he misses it, and then he doesn't have Pillar, so it's like your Trundle without Pillar, without Flash, into a Jarvan who has Sundered Sky. Like, it was just kind of like the worst getting even worse. Worse leading to worse. So,
I mean,
he does die for the second time.
Like, this is one of those games where the bottom laners haven't gone mid for a while because BD's just happy to say, well, I kind of win this super hard right now. I have so much power with the roaming support because Duck Dom doesn't need anybody's help!
Oh, he should not be stepping up to this guy. Duck Dom is just styling on him. As now Gideon is here. There's the subjugate. We'll see if they've got enough damage into Perfect. Should be. As now Perfect just going to go ahead and move over towards the wave so he can try to farm it. As, yeah, Gio's dead. He's very dead. And we've seen this before. 3 kills, or 3 deaths rather, very early on for Gio in this game as well.
It's just completely focused. But, like, this play isn't possible if he just doesn't get completely demolished by Duck Dom moments before. Duck Dom almost kills him with the True Shot Barrage. He had Flash too, by the way. Gio did not. So if the True Shot Barrage is, like, 10 damage off, Duck Dom flashes and kills him. He has Barrier also, by the way. Like, rare miss from BDD.
Yeah.
Or a good dodge from Calix, whichever way you want to put it.
Well, actually trying to get in there and punish. He's going to knock him straight into the arms of Gideon, who hugs him with his teeth, actually, instead. Because on the run here, it's Chemtech's ult, by the way. We got an ult down from Lehens, trying to lock this one up. Stun goes in onto Cuz, but it's only the Trundle. Not sure if they have the damage. They should have the damage for Peter, who says, "Get down, Mr. President, Cuz. I've got this."
That was really risky there from Nongshim, to be honest. I thought that potentially with a flag drag turn from Cuz and with the rotation over of Dokdom, who got his true shot back, that could have been a big win, but they are able to quickly target select correctly, take Peter out. We'll go back to this play here. VDD actually goes in really deep after getting shoved, knows the kit's down for Calyx, so he's like, okay, you don't have anything back. If I shove you here with Peter rotating over, I'll kill you. But he misses. It's a really nice spacing there from Calyx. VDD flashes, and he's like trying to decide where he should be to avoid both the pillar and the shove. Kind of ends up getting hit by both and dies. Then this moment here, it feels like a bit of an overextension for me initially here with Nongshim and Gideon, because when Cuz gets out of here, if he doesn't get stunned instantly, just flag drags to follow. But Dokdom is still just a little bit too far away. They get Peter, who sacrifices himself, as you put it. And Gio is still just trying to find a way to play the game.
Well, he's playing with Lehens, and by with Lehens, I mean Lehens is on his team, but he's nowhere near Gio. And that's because he's Bard, he's trying to set up plays, he's trying to play around the map. This is just kind of the current meta, but at the same time, if you're a solo Corki into an Ezreal who is fed, you do not get to play the game. You just sit there and die.
Yeah, I mean, Nongshim are up on kills. Don't get me wrong, but when you don't have a lot of map control and you're kind of losing it all over the map, it's harder to make plays as Bard proactively than it is for Nico, who is also kind of running around the map. You kind of have to match that. If you just let Nico be in either solo lane while the Ezreal is just naturally winning, then you're going to have a bad time, because it's not like Bard can save that lane for Corki alone either. So Lens needs to kind of just be like, sorry, Chu, I mean, you lost. I'm going to have to do something else elsewhere. Kingen is now the target.
Temper Fade is ready here for Lehens, as we're just going in on a Gideon. Not necessarily the best idea, but we do have TP coming in. Kingen now trying to lock down that back line. There's the Temper Fade, gonna lock down the Azir. Perfect though, a big slam on that front line, and now the damage from Dokdom comes in as he joins the fight. And it is broken up here big time for Nongshim. Should get the disengage cone is Gideon, but Dokdom's got other ideas. And meanwhile, they want to dive here onto this guy, as Calyx able to just kind of thread the needle there and not get knocked off the wall.
Lucky!
Lucky Mickey!
Sometimes you take those. I got out. Lucky for Calyx there, as everything for KT just kind of barely missed times and he gets away. Should have, in KT's mind, for sure gone down there, but he gets out, so that's a small win for Nongshim. But the fight there, they were like, okay, KT and they engage, like, we don't want to fight on turret. You know, Gideon's here, he has Subjugate. Let's engage on Gideon instead, which feels kind of risky, but they get a Subjugate out from this, and then it's really hard here to actually re-engage with the lack of damage at this point. The shuffle here, or the shove rather, from BDD is fantastic as well after Kingen goes in. We have another fight here though in live.
Yeah, trying to make a play onto this Rift Trail, but immediately Nongshim are regretting that decision. As this time True Shot Barrage not going to hit anything. Feels like the first time this game. Or maybe the second. Bit of damage comes in. It's just going to come down to the Smite, as it does go the way of the Jarvan. It's a bit of an early one from the side of Nongshim. Bit of damage into Perfect already. Lehens has to flash out, and here comes Dokdom over the wall. Gets the snipe down, but pays for it.
They need that eye.
Yeah, they're going to get it, just barely, as the barrier comes in, and now potentially a chance here for Nongshim to take this fight, as they're going to pick up the one kill, but now the rest of KT comes in, super low on health. They don't care, and they will clean up here up against Nongshim. Gideon just has to run away.
And man, Dokdom is having a game. He got a lead, he is utilizing it incredibly well. Super aggressive on the Ezreal in this moment. The Smite is close, like incredibly close, 71. But they can't secure the eye without some finesse, Valdez, as they want to engage with Peter, right? They push Lehens out, he flashes. This play from Dokdom is insane. Peter is actually focused on, it's one of those rare moments where you actually see the Pop Blossom animation wind up, but he actually is killed before he can use it. That still goes on cooldown. This Bard ultimate here kind of buys some space, really enough, for both BDD's ult and Dokdom. Didn't really end up getting the value that they were looking for, and Dokdom is just not afraid of anything. But a close fight, but perhaps the last real fight that Nongshim is going to get in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And now,
17-minute Muramana.
Yeah, Muramana complete. I mean, this spike for Ezreal comes so quickly. He hasn't quite finished it, but he's getting very close to that Muramana.
He's massive mooned up. I mean, it's not transformed. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Well, Chemtech Drake started here by Nongshim, just trying to pull this one out of the pit just a little bit. And maybe trying to set up a Talia wall, but here comes Perfect, just saying the banana brush is mine. It is ours.
But they have Trundle on the other side, Valdez. How can he walk up like that?
Well, not quite in
BDD is
to do anything about it.
BDD is like ready to go in. They're like, oh, they're not even going to fight. Nice attempt to delay this. Cool. Cool.
Okay. So, not going to slam it into the Tempered Fate. And now he's going to be able to get a second charge elsewhere.
Yeah. Now they also don't have Tempered Fate for this fight, but I don't think they're going to take the fight. And this is going to be the bottom turret going down.
Oh, no!
Right? Right? Perfect!
Oh, no.
Surely on the next wave. I mean, like, everybody's on
Harmonic complete.
Yeah, there you go. Masamune to Muramana. Took him a minute. He was trying to hit as many Qs as he could, as this TP will defend this top turret. And this starts to feel more like a Legend Group game, you know, where it's like you get a small lead, and you just absolutely take over, and it's just not really a game of League of Legends. And for Gio, it really hasn't been. Poor guy.
Yeah, it's been more like a solo queue experience. Just, you know, left alone, die over and over. Exit the game afterwards.
if they subjugate that Scion, maybe. No, he's just gonna walk away. I don't. It's one of my pet peeves that like teams will never pick Scion when Trundle is up, because I think in situations like this it does make sense for both the draft, the comp, which are essentially the same thing in this case, but also for like Perfect. Is really what I meant. Like in this draft for this team, Perfect just needs to be on something where he can be stable. And it works, and they're actually winning the game quite handily. And he kind of won lane as well into Kingan's Camille. So feeling pretty good about the pick right now, as the subjugate value from behind is really hard to realize, even on a 5-kill Trundle. So that they don't have an 80 carry, they don't have consistent damage. And this is really problematic.
Yeah, I don't know how to... another game where the 5-kill Trundle does not win.
I want to like try to figure out how to frame how Nongshim come back in this game, and it's maybe an overextension from Duckdom. Maybe he eases in at the wrong moment. He gets caught by Kingin. I mean, those are the ways we've seen a lot of teams throw on Otacon, for example. When like if Nongshim started Otacon and Duckdom just face planted, maybe. I just don't see KT making these mistakes right now. They're playing very carefully. Kingin wants revenge, and I just don't think he's going to get it.
Yeah, no, not right now. Otacon started up here by KT. Looks like Nongshim have a decent idea that it is started up, but I don't know how you really get in. And KT are just poking them down. I mean, Duckdom is frontlining right now, saying you're not allowed to enter. We do have the flank still coming in from the side of Kingin. Lahenz is over the wall. They just die there. We have the stun and the wall coming down. As they turn on the Kingin, the Temper Fate not really going to do all too much. Kingin just going to go down. Meanwhile, on the right side, Perfect is taken out.
Subjugated.
Subjugated. That he was. Meanwhile, Gideon trying to get in this pit. It might just come down to the turn. And it's massive from the side of Peter. Doesn't even need to do much else after that. Just gets the 3-man, roots them all down, and the rest of the team is there with their wallets to knock down the pins.
I mean, like, that fight was it was a complete wall set up from Perfect. He just doesn't let the rest of the team get in. He sacrifices himself, and the turn onto Kingin. Look at how, like, they don't even have vision of him. They know he's back there. Look at how quick this is. Like, watch this. Kingin shows up, stuns BD, they're like, no way.
Not allowed.
And Duckdom is still in here with him, but it doesn't matter. And look at the rest of the team. They just can't get in. Perfect is a wall. Peter holds the Otacon aggro, and then they're like, all right, maybe we have another chance here. Maybe we can go in. And then Peter perfectly engages here with the Rocket Belt, hits all 3, and then the True Shot Barrage is layered on top.
Yeah. It was kind of desperate for Nongshim, but we did it, basically. Yeah, it's kind of desperate, but you had to. You had to go through that choke, because Lahenz, just dead. Not the first time.
It's a Bard.
Won't be the last.
Yeah.
Just Bard things.
Yeah.
I don't know if that works for Lens.
So we had a bit of a win streak for Wukong broken today. We're going to have a Bard win streak broken as well.
Yeah. Keria very angry about that, looks like.
He looks, maybe he's just ready to start a new one.
Yeah. I mean, his streak on Bard isn't broken.
No,
so.
that's true. Very true.
He's like, I guess you can't quite do it like I can.
That's some bounty gold. Kane got away with that. Small victories. Baron hasn't spawned yet. I want to remind everyone, although it feels like this game is complete wash at this point. You know, there's still a potential angle. Now, they're going to look for the punish. Gideon, run away. Blast cone away.
Actually going to take a bit of damage from that. Looks like Kingan's in some trouble. Gideon, same. Going to get flashed on. Flashes away himself. There is the knockup into the root into Sion, doing Sion things.
That'll teach him the alcove game.
Never alcove game.
Against this Fed KT comp.
Yeah, it's almost 7K. And KT, as long as they stay clean with it, should be just fine. BDD frontlining into the damage of Jiu. Clearly does not respect it, even though he has also hit a 2-item spike. It just came a little bit too late.
It's really tough to quantify some of the issues that Nongshim have had as a team. You know, like some of the calls from Lens like this that have plagued them.
Yeah.
But I think one of the players that gets the most flack is Jiu, because you can physically see some of the moments he's had. And,
Jiu, speaking of which.
Yeah, it's frustrating if you're a Nongshim fan, because you're like, I know Jiu was so good before, and I know he can still be good now. This is a desperate attempt from Calyx.
He's got his E back. Arcane Shift, pretty good ability. As he's able to get that one going. BDD, once again, kind of a weird one, but it doesn't quite matter. As long as he's frontlining for the main carry of the team, I think they'll be fine with it.
All right, so there's 3 strong Palm candidates.
It's Duckdom.
Duckdom is a very strong candidate. BDD with his Rise game in game 1.
It's not BDD anymore.
And he's had some moments in this game. Is a weaker candidate, I would say. And then there's Peter, who had the Alistair game. He followed up on a lot of BDD stuff.
The 2 bottom laners being strong Palm candidates?
Yeah.
In this meta?
In this meta, that's right.
Wow.
An Eco pick and an Alistair, 2 top tier.
Crazy.
You know what? I think I'm going to give it to Peter, because he's back, and like Duckers is my boy too, but...
Ducky Duckers, man. Come on, it's obvious.
Ducker Z, any Ducker Z's in the chat, please.
Yeah.
Please get them out there.
Please let them be known, if you are.
Or like at least a Frankers. I mean, Duckdom's had a phenomenal series. Peter, obviously in both wins, high impact. He played Poppy into Elise. We'll just kind of glaze over that real quick. But I feel like this team looks completely different with Wei. This team also looks completely different when they're playing against Nongshim, who hasn't won for 3 months. Than when they play against Hanwha and Genji. So it's hard to quantify, but I do feel like in the eye test here, Valdez, we can kind of say it looks better with Peter. It seems like he's the stronger support.
Yeah, I think we would all agree at this point based on what we've seen, as Lehens, not going to be able to do too much. Tried to throw in an ult at the very last moment, didn't matter. The wallets are just too heavy. And getting legendary now is Duckdom. Still not dying after that first one, and yep, they're just pressing forward. And down will go to here as well, as they dive into multiple turrets and do not care.
Do I want to give it to Duckdom? Man, 10-1-7.
His Sivir as well. You know, we were thinking in game 1, we're like, is it BDD, is it Duckdom? I don't know.
I'm just kind of over AD carries getting it every time, but in this meta, I guess you just do. You win the 2v2, you get fed, and then...
Especially because he like played Ezreal and popped off, you know?
Yeah.
It was a little bit of Jiu kind of running into them.
Jiu ran into them a little bit. Like that one barrier play early was, you know, everyone's raising their eyebrows at that, but it's what he did with the lead.
Yeah, exactly.
The flash play when they were on Herald. Ah, man, it's tough. I know Cronny will back me up with a Peter vote if I go Duckdom.
You've got like that hedge. You're like, oh, okay, I know my other global voters will
I know
go
it's
ahead
not,
and help out.
Yeah, it's not going to be like if I vote for Peter, it's going to be a 12-1-er, but...
No. But it could be 11-2-er, you know? That could be fun.
Yeah, it could be. I don't think it will be. 18 out of 23 KP, 17 out of 23 KP. Alistair engage on that Philios.
Yeah, Rolster engaged on the Aphelios was set up by BDD.
I have an idea. What if we just brought POG back?
Yeah,
it's not an original idea,
cool
but I have this idea
I'm okay with it.
that people on the global side seem to share.
We wouldn't be the only ones that would like to see it make a return.
GGG go Duck Dom 100%.
GGG are Duck Dom now.
Yeah. It's not, and they're not wrong. All right, one last try, Nongshim, one Hail Mary.
Yeah, one Hail Mary. They're trying to get in on a BDD, but this time the knockup is good, and the follow-up is gigantic from Perfect Skew. And yeah, they're just smacking them in the face with their wallets. It's not very pretty. It's only Gio who's alive, but he's died 7 times already. As Peter just emoting in his face, doesn't seem to care that he's gone down, as he's just opening up another kill for his 80 carry. 12, 1, and 10 is Duck Dom, and KT will take down the series 2-1. Not the perfect series, as that game number 1, or rather 2, was a bit iffy, especially some of the drafting, but they got through it.